Welcome back to the 1973 Honda CB500 4 Cafe Racer build. In this video, I'm going to be repainting the gas tank. I have a very crazy idea that some of you guys might hate, but I think it's going to be so unique, and I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to try it. This right here, let me show you guys this. This is the top handlebar mount bridge, and something about this original Honda thing here. It's obviously sheet metal, but they made it look like wood somehow. And I don't know how they did that, but I'm going to try to do the same thing on the gas tank. I'm going to need these colors too. Black and silver metallic. This is going to sound absolutely crazy, but this is how I'm going to try to get this wood look. This is Special Walnut Minwax Wood Stain and just a cheap 2-inch chip brush. And I think brushing this stain over top of this warm caramel spray paint color might give me a really cool wood look. And then after all that craziness is done, of course, I'm going to be using 2K clear coat. This is fuel resistant and it's going to seal in this finish really nicely. And always start out with self-etching primer if you're doing a bare metal paint job. So let's go ahead and get into it. I've already drained out the gas, taken off the old petcock, which I'm replacing. And the only other thing to do is pull off these side emblems. Oh, we got a pop. Oh, there it is. There we go. That one came off a lot easier. I'm going to use some paint stripper and see if it even touches this paint. So we got to get this thing stripped down to bare metal before we can paint it. All right, and now we let that sit for a good 15, 20, 30 minutes. Been a good half an hour, and yeah, I'd say that this paint is done. That stripper actually worked really well, so I'm gonna go ahead and just scrape off the rest of this and then wipe it with some paper towels. And I do have chemical resistant gloves on. Definitely need those when working with this stripper. Round two. Okay, now I'm going to take a wire reel on my angle grinder to this gas tank, and we'll see if we can get the rest of this crap off. As you can see, there's a dent right here. I never even noticed it till now, but it's a little dent there. It's the only dent on the tank. Got my Bondo. I'm gonna wipe it down with some paint thinner first, but let's fill in that dent. It's the next day and the Bondo's dry, so I'm going to go ahead and hit it with my sander, get it nice and smooth. now some 300 grit sandpaper. And now a little bit of paint thinner to clean the metal. It's a nice day outside today, so I'm going to be painting outside with my homemade hanging stand out of a ladder. I've got the gas tank all cleaned up. I just did another wipe down on it. It's looking really nice and smooth. And I also have the badges all sanded down and cleaned up. I'm going to give those a coat of paint as well. Alright, I've got the gas cap and everything taped off, so now it's time to hit it with some primer. I'm using some self-etching primer. This is the absolute best kind of primer to use on bare metal, and I'll put a link to this same product up here or down in the description. I can't recommend it enough. Okay, now I'm going to wait about 10 minutes and then hit it with another coat of primer. Now I'm going to hit these badges with some silver engine enamel. Okay, now I want the sides of my gas tank to be black. So I'm using this VHT roll bar and chassis gloss black paint. And just on the sides, let's get some on. Second coat of silver on the badges. Nice. Okay, now I'm going to do one more coat of black. I'm going to do the whole underside black as well. Okay guys, my black paint is nice and dry, and this is where the magic happens. I cut out these two paper templates here, and I'm going to take these and glue them onto the gas tank right about there, and then I'll put some tape around the outside and leave just a little 1/8 inch gap in between this and the tape, and that's what's going to give me my silver pinstripe around the nice black side panel of the gas tank. Both sides done. Time to get some paint on it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull off this tape. The silver is all dry, so now what I'm going to do is mask off this black and silver and paint the rest of the tank with the warm caramel brown, which is going to be the base for my wood grain look. So I'm just going to use the template from before and put it back where it was. Then I'm going to put on some more tape just so that I can cover up my silver pinstripe. Okay, now with that all covered up, I'm gonna take some... Okay, now with that all covered up, I'm gonna take some 320 grit sandpaper and just rough up this black a little bit just to make sure that my new paint sticks to it, and also just make sure there's no hard lines where I stopped the black. So I want everything nice and smooth. Then just a little bit of 400 grit just to clean it up. Now I'm going to clean it off with some paint thinner. Okay, now it's time for the warm caramel satin paint. Let's get it on. Time for the second coat. Let's get it. And now with the badges, I want to fill in like these spots with black paint. So I'm going to use a little paintbrush and this roll bar and chassis paint. Get a little bit on sandpaper here. And let's try to just brush it on. Yeah, not too bad. The brown is mostly dry, and it's time to pull off the tape. Man, I'm not loving this color. Hopefully something cool happens when I put the stain on it. There we go. Alright, it's the next day and the warm caramel paint is dry. It's looking pretty good. But I think this next step will take it to the next level. I have some special walnut Minwax stain. And I don't know if it's gonna really soak into this paint. I might have to sand the paint first, but I'm just gonna give this a shot here. Alright. Get a little bit on my 2-inch chip brush here. This is just a cheap paint brush. Don't want too much. Let's give it a shot. Doesn't really seem to be soaking in as expected. And it's also kind of just beading up on the surface. Not looking terrible though. I'm gonna go ahead and wipe this off because I can already tell it's not doing what I really wanted it to. I'm going to take some 320 grit sandpaper and sand down the whole tank. Also smoothing out my pinstripe lines here. I do want to shine up the black a little bit, so I'm going to hit it with some 600 grit sandpaper. Alright, the clear coat should do the rest of the work, bringing a nice shine back to this black. Now I'm going to wipe it down with some paint thinner to get all the dust off of it. Okay, now that the gas tank is sanded down, I'm going to try the stain once again. Oh yeah, it's definitely taking it better this time. Do a couple knots in there, why not? Kinda looking like wood, guys. Okay, now I gotta wipe it off of my silver and black with some paint thinner before it dries on there. I think the trick to making it look like wood is you just keep brushing it as it dries. Keep brushing it, get that wood grain, get those lines built up. Because if you just brush it on once, like here, it doesn't really have the grain effect. You gotta keep brushing it as it dries. That's the key. Okay, now I want like one really light streak right down the center. So I'm just gonna go ahead and wipe off some of this stain. You can see it doesn't wipe off easily, and as it dries, it's really gonna soak in to this spray paint. Now I'm gonna go ahead, take my brush, and just kind of blend it back in. That totally worked. So that's interesting. You can use a paper towel, just wipe off certain areas to lighten them up to give different effects. You can use this method to get so many different looks. This is awesome. Okay, I've got the gas tank in my laundry room with the heater drying the stain, and it's still a tiny bit tacky but mostly dry on there. While I'm waiting for the stain to finish drying, I'm going to go ahead and put on the emblems. I put some double-sided trim adhesive on the back of these just to really make sure they stay on good. Okay, the stain is dry, and now it is time to put on the 2K clear coat. This is a fuel resistant clear coat, and we're going to pop this on the bottom and mix the two together. I'm going to do probably 3 coats, so let's start out with one. Okay, there's the first coat, 10 minutes, and then we'll do another one. Alright, coat number 2. Okay, it's time for the third and final coat of clear coat. Let's get it. That's it. Woo! Alright guys, the gas tank is done. The clear coat is still a little bit tacky. I'm just going to leave it to dry for like 2 or 3 days. And then I'm going to wet sand it and buff it to really give it that shine. And I'm really happy with how this came out. I honestly didn't even know if it was going to work, but I'd say it worked. It would be awesome to see other people using this method in different ways, different colors. There's a lot of different options and different ways to really let your creativity shine. If you're going to try this for yourself, use the hashtag woodification and post it on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, any TikTok, anything. Use that hashtag, and I would love to see your results. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button. Comment down below what you think of my woodification gas tank. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next episode in the build series. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.